hello. I wanted to make this video about why I talk so much about my career, why I proselytize my career, evangelize my career as many people as I can. And I'd say it's because it's stable, it's needed all across the country, regardless of what state you're in right now. You can become an estimator. I've specifically looked at almost every single state because around the cough and sickness, everything went remote, so they were offering the position pretty much everywhere. I mean, kind of similar to project management too, but I want something that can kind of encapsulate the masses, so people would actually want to do it. And that's why I lean on the estimating side of things. Project management, for guys who don't know, or for you all that don't know, is basically managing a project, being out, on a construction site somewhere and taking pictures. I mean, you don't actually have to do the construction itself, so it's not necessarily that bad, but definitely in a state like Arizona, it can be pretty rough, to say the least. It's 112. It's 112 right now. You probably can't tell. Look a little nice outside, whatnot, but nah, it's beat out here sometimes. But getting into that office, being able to sit there throughout the day, it's according to what type of office. I'm not going to say every single estimating job, one that I've ever had, but two that I've ever seen or heard of was just, a cakewalk per se. But in comparison to most of the things that I see my contemporaries, my peers getting into, career-wise, job-wise, it is where it is. Like, let's not mention salary right now, but I want to try and give you everything else besides that, and then we're gonna talk about that too, because that is very important. Because why else are you out here wasting your time every day, headed through traffic like I am right now? I'm getting off from work, but headed through traffic, dealing with whatever. It's not because it's playtime. It's not because I want to follow my passion or anything like that. We trying to get paid. I got a family to feed. I got a wife and a daughter. So you've worked 40 most of the time, unless you just decide that you're the type of person who doesn't like to work less hours in a week or whatever. And you work 40. The environment tends to be pretty decent, just generally in an office. I mean, it just is what it is. A lot of these jobs are going to be corporate leaning, but one of the things that we'll talk about later on when we get to the salary part of this conversation is that smaller companies actually, they come with some benefits. Let's just say that for right now. So I'm trying to think of other environments that, I mean, I might shift some papers. I'm typing on a keyboard. I'd say the hardest thing that I do is either involving Excel or whatever sheet that they use to mark things down or get material counts or whatever, get their pricing kind of set up for the proposal. So either that or the actual takeoff of the blueprints themselves is like the hardest thing that I do right now. And let's say, you know, talking to people and having to do all of that, it can be a stress, a hurdle. But realistically though, who is listening to this video right now, I don't know, put a comment below, who doesn't talk on the phone at some point for work, not, you know, just to be BSing or whatever. So that's a part of it. Some places I've had to track my time, other places I didn't. Some places would let me go off and do, you know, my appointments that I needed for my wife, my daughter, myself. And then some other places would make me take sick time to go do that, which those tended to be places that were much further away from where I actually, like where I live at. So that kind of made sense because it's going to be a good 4 hours before I get back into this office. So, you know, perks, benefits, some offer some random assortment of things, some offer others, but generally all will have you in an office for the most part and back home to your family. And another part of this is that most estimators, project managers do, but most estimators don't really even tend to do much traveling, you know, out of state and all of that. So it's definitely a great gig for people who just want to basically do your work and then go home. That right there is about as close as I've found to something to where you can really do that. Are there going to be some places that are going to overwork you and make you do this, that, and the third, you know, work weekend or whatever? Hey, users beware for my career, per se. I mean, you're going to have, honestly, that's kind of, which I also do consulting as well for people who want to go a little bit further than my digital products, which are based on, you know, basically getting you up to par so that you can apply to somebody's job and do the job. That's what my digital products for, my ebooks are for online on my website, which is linked in the description below, as well as my consulting. But I do that because it's not just getting the job. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that you can transfer over from what you've learned throughout just working jobs and working careers over to estimating, because it's just another career. It's just another job, basically. But finding places, kind of weeding places out, I guess it really just kind of comes with experience. But you can work very, very sweet gigs. All right, so what everybody came for, the salary, let's get into it. I'm currently at 114. The low, I started at 42,500, but there's no reason why you can't start maybe between like maybe 50 and 60. Is more to the negotiating skills. Again, something that isn't necessarily learning about estimating specifically, but is more geared towards learning about how to navigate them streets. Or Indeed, not the streets. But yeah, you can go, I mean, yeah, it's according to what your actual job title would be. But for like a pre-construction manager, which is where estimating lives at, pre-construction, like pre-construction design, and a chief estimator, either one of those, according to where they are, where your location is, where you're doing the job at, you can get up to right around like 65 here in Phoenix, Arizona, with those two titles. With just an estimator, you're going to eventually anyways become a senior estimator, probably right after maybe 8 to 10 years. So an estimator themselves probably are going to top out right around where I'm at, like 115, maybe, probably maybe right around 120. Senior estimator, your floor should be 120 with highs of like I'm talking about the weather out here. Highs of like 130, 140. But you can start touching some bands, I mean, what does a pharmacist make? I think a pharmacist makes like right around 115. And I mean, yes, the doctor, like the person giving you medicine and stuff like that at CVS. A professor, I think at, let's say, Harvard or Stanford, I'm pretty sure, and maybe tenured might be a little bit higher, but just getting into being a professor is like right around 115. What is another high-paying? What is another career that you may think is high-paying that may not be as high as you may have thought? I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm outpacing some lawyers, but not all lawyers. But anyways, that's the advantage right there. Like, that's what I want for you. A fully funded 401k. I just went up to Fidelity today, and I was just checking into an IRA, a Roth IRA, to start looking at paid off mortgage, less stress on your health, because it is very stressful to be broke. I've done it a lot. Like, I've done it like most of my life, basically. Like, it's actually kind of refreshing and brand new to me to be, well over 100,000 a year. And you might be able to say that too. Like, unless there's some state and I'm tripping, comment that below too in the comments. If there's some state to where you can't touch 100 as an estimator, I'm pretty sure. Even like I'm not going to see even in Alabama, like Alabama's a growth state or something like that, but it's a low wage state. People don't make as much on an average income. I'm pretty sure that they're sitting right there at 90 to 95, even for Alabama or Mississippi or something like that. It's a needed thing, and people are going to pay you for it. And that's just a start, like, to use it to help fund something outside of working a 9 to 5 so that you don't have to work a 9 to 5 instead of following that passion. I guess that passion got you working for the next 40 years, answering the boss man and whatnot. But, and hey, I'm going to play my position too, because I'm going to go ahead and get the corporate bag like that Millionaire Morning Show, Mr. Anton Daniels. I'm going to go ahead and get that corporate bag too, man. I ain't playing. All right. That, whatever bag I can get, but it's definitely it. It's one of it. I mean, there's a few careers that are very high paying out here to where you don't really have to, kill yourself to really do them. But hey, no guts, no blood for all the medical and soldiers out there. Especially if you're transitioning from the Army, Marines, Air Force. I was prior Air Force. Hit my line, text me, email me, all of that stuff. I got all my contacts below. But learn, because I guess some people have like a, I don't know, like a jaded mindset that money can transform you into someone evil or bad or something like that. But if you're a good person and you're broke, you know, why not be broke and then also, you know, keep being a good person? Like, you know, double your tithing to your church, double how much you give out to the homeless, double how much you're able to volunteer, because you can get the bag for 6 months, save up enough to where you can pay for the next 6 months, and then you can do the rest volunteer work because you make twice as much as what you do right now. I don't know, you know, burn the daggone money. I don't care, but get the daggone money. That's the important part. And people don't know about my career, which is why I gotta say it. Like, who knows about construction estimating? Who knows that you could go into, really, it's an engineering career field, but you don't have to have a bachelor's, because I don't have a bachelor's. I have an associate's in construction applied science, which is not engineering. So I'm in an engineering career field, in construction, inside of that engineering career field, more like leaning towards like civil engineering. And I'm not having to be out in the field. I'm not having to be out here sweating, swinging hammers and stuff like that. I deal with paper, I deal with computers, I deal with being in a climate controlled office. People can be hard to deal with in construction, so let me throw that out there, because I haven't really been cussed out like that, but people are just hard drinking, hard people in construction. But yeah, I want to, on this channel, be able to kind of pump out enough information to where I could take you from just being whatever you are currently to being, you know, like, let's say right now I'm a 5, right? On a scale of experience. I got 5 years, at least in the civilian world, like right around 10 years total. Let's just say I'm a 5. Like, I want to be able to at least get you to like 0.5 or like a 1 on a scale of experience to kind of start moving forward into estimating and, you know, looking at what's out here. And like, let's say that I mean, I don't think estimating is so hard to where you only really need to focus on it. I mean, maybe starting off, but being able to kind of see and transfer back to whatever you're planning to do too, because you don't have to get a massive amount of certificates. You don't have to go out and get a degree. You can just start it, see what it's like, see what the environment is like, see if you do or don't like it, and then just say deuces and then go back to whatever it was that you were planning on doing. But there's also, you know, reasons why you're here also, especially at this point in this video, because we're 18 minutes in. And that's because you're looking into this career. Like, you're pretty much tired of whatever it is that you're doing, tired of taking whatever it is from whoever it is. What I'm trying to tell you, bro, you don't gotta do that, bro. You don't gotta be broke. You don't gotta do nothing really, except just learn a little bit, and then you done. It's crazy. You know what? Like, it sounds too good to be true. Well, I mean, hey, honestly, so did cars, but when we had horses, I'm pretty sure people was like, man, ain't no way in the world you can just get up and down and whatever and just off a little bit of a liquid. You tripping, bro. You tripping. Nah, people got cars. And I got an estimating career. And it's decent. Anyways, like I said, back in the video, check the link in the description below. I want to be a part of your journey. It'd be cool to talk to other estimators, especially if you become a better estimator than me. Maybe you can teach me some stuff. But I'm gonna put in that grind. I'm gonna make sure I'm up on top of my game so I can go ahead and do what I gotta do, be able to do what I want to do, and be an extremely valued member of the team. especially when they start headhunting around lay everybody off time. But all right, guys, catch you on the next one.